Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I figured I'd show you what I'm doing today. I'm pulling the whole drivetrain out of a Z28 Camaro. This is the one that I showed you previous videos. I have all the harness all the way out. I'm going to zap the 8 bolts underneath for the K member. I'm going to take the cross member and drive shaft off next. All the harness and wire in here is removed in SEP. Now, before I do any of that, I'm going to remove the collector bolts from the bottom of the header. I'm going to also remove the knuckle bolt on the steering shaft, so that way I have everything up front here ready to go. I've already removed the belt. I don't have to do that. All the connections are already gone. I have to remove these radiator hoses last to pull the radiator out. I'm going to do that before I drop it, or I don't know, I might even just leave the hoses. I think they might fall with it, but I don't know. I'm probably going to do all that. So the cross member is the next thing, and I'm going to stick wood under the cross member. After I pull the cross member up under the tranny and stick it on a brick or something, a small brick, so that way when it drops it don't hit the ground or it don't tilt, it goes straight. One more thing as well, I'm going to have a tarp under here, because when you pull that rear end, the automatic transmission, and drop it down all at one time, transmission fluid is going to come out from the drive shaft to the transmission. So basically what I'm going to need to do now is the collector bolts. Either cut the back of the exhaust or cut it right there where it goes to the H pipe. It's all welded together, so I don't know if I'm going to drop it all as one piece and maybe sell it as one piece. But the motor's got to come out today or tomorrow, and I'm on this, you know what I'm saying? So here's how it's looking underneath. I'm going to show you a few things you have to do. See the cable right there? That has to be undone, clicked out with a flathead. Then you come right up here, and I think there's like 2 bolts maybe between the pan. I don't know if I'm right there on them, but you can see there's 2 bolts right there you got to remove this bracket here. That's got to come off. Okay, now this will be right before I take actually, I'll do the K member. I'll leave all this together. I'll take all 8 bolts, 4 on both sides for the K member, and leave the strut towers attached, right? Then after I do that, what I'm going to do is come back here, work on the drive shaft, remove this transmission brace, put a brick and a piece of wood to keep this stable so when it falls, but not too big of a brick, just a little bit of brick so I can slide it easily all together as one piece with the wheels. And this puppy ought to come off. It ought to drop down to the ground after I do all that. So I'm going to drop the complete K member all as one piece in this car with the motor and transmission as one. Now I can do 1 or 2 things. I can leave the drive shaft connected and pull it out. But once I move the car, the drive shaft's going to spin. So it's better to take it off ahead of time and avoid that problem. Now with this car, there's no band clamps. This is an aftermarket exhaust. So I might have to cut it somewhere. I might cut it probably right over there just to remove it and have that piece right there, then re-weld that piece, because there's no band clamps on this, and I don't want to mess with or I might stick a piece of wood in between the pan and the exhaust, and maybe it'll drop right on the top of the exhaust, and I'll wiggle it out over the exhaust and leave the exhaust as one piece still in the car. We'll have to see if that happens. If I can get a piece of wood in between that pipe there and well, no, I'm gonna have to cut it, because once this whole thing falls, it's gonna put weight on wherever it is back there, so I might have to cut it right there. But anyway, this is the Z28 Camaro. Like, subscribe, and share, and keep on dreaming.